Hi, my loves. Welcome back. I'm Coach Naz and I'm a love coach. In today's video, I want to talk about how to forgive somebody who is hurting you and you can't walk away from them because either a child is involved or there is some sort of a connection that you just cannot throw them away or just walk away from them. So this video is going to be about that. If you guys are interested, then please stick around. So the first thing that I want to get out of this is actually to explain what I mean by forgiveness, because I talk about forgiveness in my program quite a lot. And I think a lot of people have a misconception about forgiveness because I hear a lot, I hear a lot of people saying how you shouldn't have the need to forgive somebody if they've really caused you harm, or if they've really, hurt you. And I just I don't agree with that. Sorry. I feel like forgiveness is the key to moving on, to moving forward with your life. And I feel like if you do not forgive, you still have a little string that is holding you back. And I myself have been a big example of this because I held a lot of resentment and hate towards not hate, but I just had a lot of things that I didn't realize I was holding on to with my parents, with my mom, and also with a lot of my high school friends. I just held on to a lot of things that I thought I left, that I thought, I was like, I forgave them. I let it go. I don't talk about it anymore, but some part of me still did hold that in my body. And so the first thing that I want to, explain to you really quickly is that forgiveness, again, is not about accepting bad behavior. To all the people pleasers out there, this is not about forgiving people that hurt you. This is not about forgetting what people that have cause you harm. It's not about forgetting that. You have to remember because you do not want to keep on repeating the old patterns, old behavior. But forgiving people that have caused you harm is about letting that hold that this person has on you, that emotion, every time you look at them or you even hear about them, your body gets like you react, not even your face, but your body. And it's funny because I think I said this in one of my other videos. I was speaking to one of my friends and she was talking about one of her narcissistic friends. And I could see that her body, as soon as she said her name, her body did this. I could see her literally tense up. And your body holds on to all of this, even though we think our body is just following our brain. But no, our body has an intelligence of its own. And so the first thing that I would say, another thing that I want to say before I say that is, I, without getting too deep into it, I've experienced that with my relationships where I just couldn't walk away because there was things that was involved that I couldn't say bye. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about the people that I coach, the men and women, the people that you date. You have to be very careful because if you do have a child with them, you can't just say, sayonara, I gotta go now. No, you're connected to them for the rest of your life. So you better make sure that the people that you date, their families, all of that, is good before you continue to have a child, to create a family and all that kind of stuff. So that is why I'm so passionate about all this stuff, because I've been through all this, So of course, that's what I want to say is that forgiveness is not about accepting, bad behavior, but it is also about creating, mental, like a space for you to allow yourself to forgive them. And if, somebody's unable, you can't just walk away from somebody, the first thing I want you to know is that you have to protect your peace. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy. And in order to do that, you have to create boundaries with yourself, not with that person. Because majority of the time, people that are toxic or unhealthy, they don't understand or they don't give a shit about your expectations, about your boundaries, about your standards. They don't care about that. So the fact that you're spending and again, this is what I did, and I still have a problem with this. I know what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes I do fall back into stating my boundary, but I'm like, they're not even going to listen. They don't care about it because they don't care about me. And that is the hardest, I think, thing to kind of understand, is that toxic people don't give a shit about you. So there's no need to create a boundary with them, I mean, of course, if it's really something that they've said in front of somebody, you have to like defend yourself, of course. But at the end of the day, they're just doing it to get a reaction out of you. It's like you're literally feeding them. You're feeding into them. You're fueling their bad behavior. And that is something I needed to learn, because I was the queen of fueling bad behavior, because it took me a long time to understand that narcissistic people, they want an argument. They want you to fight. And if you don't fight, that is when they lose all of their marbles, because you're not giving them what they really want, right? So, I mean, that's a whole different story. But the first point that I want to make is to create boundaries with yourself. That, when I enter into their space, if they say something that is triggering, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm not going to react to them. I'm going to let it go. So that's a boundary that you create with yourself, not with them. That's the first thing. The second part of this is that, which I think I just mentioned, is to focus on how you respond, not how they act. Because again, if we're going to be living our lives based out of, controlling people, and he needs to behave like this to me and she needs to do this, you're going to be living in a prison your entire life. But the more you say their reaction, the person they want to be, is on them. It's their aura. It's their energy. It's nothing to do with me. And it's not my business or responsibility to change them. That is all on them. So I think once you learn to really just focus on yourself. This is why I always say with red flags, focus on your own red flags. Stop focusing on the other people or other person. Because the majority of the times we're projecting our insecurities, our flaws onto other people. So that's the second thing that I want you to keep in mind, is focus on how you respond. Now, the third part of this is to let go of waiting for an apology. You're not going to get an apology. And this happens in my case, I get a lot of apologies, but there's no change. It's the same behavior. So they make a mistake and they keep saying, sorry, I'm so sorry. But it's like, I don't need an apology anymore, because I know you're not going to change. I know you're not going to improve. I don't want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? So, instead of like getting all defensive and all that stuff that we usually do, just let go of the need to get an apology. Because whenever you're looking for an apology, number one, you're never going to get it. And number two, again, you're living in a prison. You're living in a cage. Only when he apologizes, then I'm going to be happy. Only when he does this, then I'm going to be okay in my life. That cannot be your mindset, because it's never going to happen. And also because, true forgiveness is just not needing that. It's like just knowing that they're who they are, they're never going to change, and just send them blessings their way. Like, God, please help them, please protect them. And it's basically about getting closure on your own terms. Like, this person's never going to be the person who I want them to be. So there's no point of chasing a closure. Just let it be and let it go. And the last point of this that I want to make is just turn this, this experience into strength, into teaching somebody else about your experience, and showing that, it's important to meet these type of people in your life, to be very honest, because they teach you how to love yourself. And when you learn the lesson that toxic or narcissistic personalities, they literally just teach you to have your own voice, to stand up for yourself, to love yourself, to protect yourself. And we wouldn't learn this lesson if they weren't on this planet, to be quite frank. So we have to just understand the lesson and turn the pain into strength and know that you are a resilient being and you're stronger than you think. So these are the 4 points that I wanted to make. I really hope that this video can help you, that can inspire you. If you are somebody that is currently, in a relationship, or you're divorced, or whatever it is, you have a mother who is toxic or narcissistic, I hope that these points can help you. And again, if you have any other questions, do not hesitate to ask me down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.